Casual.
Oh, it's them.
Oh,
Hey, look, it's them.
welcome to the Fireside Chat.
Hello. I'm glad they stopped by.
Do you want to face them or no?
I don't know. I think you're a lot cuter than they are.
You don't know.
Hello, everybody.
You haven't seen them. They might be very cute.
But I've seen you. I suppose we ought to get a sound check. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? This is a sound check. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Check, 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 check. Check, please, at table 4. Check, please.
Check.
Table 4. Check, check, check.
Sounds good.
Check, check, check. Okay, we'll
Hey,
go with that.
sir, I'm going to have to ask you to turn off your YouTube sound. That is only for video watching.
Huh. Hey, look, she's got a hat. Lots of cool stuff to go over tonight. Lots of cool stuff. We're gonna try and give away some pins. We're gonna talk about creating scenarios. We're gonna talk about. I wanted to talk a little bit more about using epic characters in scenarios and how to work them in. See, lots of stuff to go over. I don't want to touch on it all right now because this is our pre-live blather time. This is the time where we just kind of, get a cup of coffee, put our feet up,
Maybe change your sweater from one sweater to another sweater.
dim the lights,
Take off your outside shoes and put on your inside shoes.
take off one gray shirt and put on another gray shirt.
Well, they're very different.
They are very different.
They're
two very different shirts.
Not even the context.
Yeah, not even. This is specifically the show shirts here.
I know, you're not even fibbing.
Yeah. Finished up the wall today. I put some. I'm gonna talk about this again too. But anyway, I put the matte varnish on the industrial wall. So calling it done at this point. But I'm hoping to show you guys a picture of it. How are we doing on time? Where are we at on our time?
Seconds.
What do you mean mere seconds? It can't be that close. Oh, you're right.
35 seconds?
No, I still got plenty of time.
35.
I still have plenty of time. Lava.
It's pronounced lava.
Lava. Lava.
Lava.
Lava.
No one says it like that, huh?
Well, no one says it. Lava.
Oh, we have a question already.
Oh, we have a question.
Oh, and it's 8 o'clock. Go, go, go.
Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous, and I've got a nervous bladder. I need to.
And scene, go.
Hey, everybody, this is Dave here at Pulp Alley, and we are live this evening with the world's most dangerous Bessy in a boater. Or possibly an Amish hat. Or Mennonites. Depending on where you're from. What question did you have?
E.S. Taylor wanted to know, do abilities trump the effects of equipment or vice versa? So, for example...
Oh, is there an example?
If an ability says that you have a 12-inch range, but the equipment says you have more, which one should you follow?
I guess it would be the equipment. So if you're using a weapon, when you choose to use that weapon, that's the only time the rules of that weapon apply. So the rules of that weapon do not apply all the time. It only applies, like, let's say you have a sniper rifle or something and you want that particular thing. The rules of that weapon only apply when you're going to use it. in normal situations, you can ignore the effects of that weapon and just use your own abilities. So think about that.
That works for like Fang, right? Like if he's on a mount.
Yep.
and he can
Yep.
go
If he's on
further.
if Fang is on a mount, then he can move 16. He's allowed to move the 16. He isn't limited to just 6. Yep. We debated that for quite a while, a ridiculous amount of time actually. But it was something important to us. We try to be pretty thoughtful in most of our decisions like that, and do some play testing and things like that. And we definitely play tested it where he could never move over 6 inches, even if he was mounted. So then he would start riding on a mount with somebody else, which was cool, because he had a chauffeur to drive him around the battlefield, because the other driver could move the mount, which was a skimmer at that time, the full 16 inches. But Fang, being a old teetering fella, he refused to drive over 6 inches.
Well, that's it.
Because that's how I drive also. About 20 miles an hour all the time. But I do it like this. Like I'm going 200. And that's why she doesn't let me drive.
That's true.
Also, she says that I get too close to people, which I haven't run over anybody in a long time. So I think the idea that I get too close to people is ridiculous.
It's because I drive, because he gets too close to people. It's dangerous out there.
This is going to be a 30-minute video tonight. It's a 30-minute video. We're going to try to do some Q&A. So we want your questions. We have some questions that we've received during the week that we want to go over as well. Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh. Can we edit that out?
Nope, we're going to leave it. It adds flavor.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're doing new videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. We normally do 2 on Thursdays. So if you saw the earlier video that I did this morning that posted about dipping, and that was this wall section here. I'm going to try and show you a closer view of this wall before we get out of here tonight. Looks really awesome. I like it. Did I mention the pins? Who's up for a pin? It will be a trivia. It will be a question. It will be, so be sure to be ready on the clickety clackers to type in your question, to clickety clack your answer in.
Click and clack.
So we're having a lot of fun on the Sunday game, and so far we've done scenario number 25, 26, and this one I think is 27 coming up on Sunday.
Yes.
On Sunday, we're doing scenario 27, and these are all out of the 2020, I think, or were they 2019? Oh, the Earth calendar
20.
really confuses me.
19 was trying to say.
Okay, 2020. Eventually we'd like to get those all bundled into a book as well, but that's what we're doing so far, and it's been a lot of fun. And so far we're kind of doing it as sort of a King City sort of theme, or Vice Alley, the Vice Alley book. So I think most of the scenarios that we've done so far could be loosely based around the Vice Alley area. Now, remember, Vice Alley is one of the, I guess, either like boroughs or neighborhoods or something like that of King City. King City is actually the name of the city where Vice Alley is located, and it has several different boroughs or distinct districts. So very cool. Kind of a New York sort of, thing going there. But anyway, I'm enjoying this, and it's making me lean more towards doing more stuff in King City, because I think that would be kind of fun. What do you guys think? Maybe even start the Vice Alley campaign and just go through it. So that brings me to topic. The bounty is the scenario that we're playing on Sunday, which is scenario 27. Michael Greenhill is going to be joining me on Sunday as my special guest, and he is going to be playing the Sky Pirates. And in this scenario, they're coming in as bounty hunters, and they're going to try to track down a criminal and run him in for the bounty. On the other side, I'll be playing the Phantom Agents, and we're just trying to catch up to the bad guys because they're smugglers and take them in for justice. So it's certainly possible that we'll be exchanging lead with some Sky Pirates. We'll have to see how it goes. Let's see. Epic characters. Let's talk about epic characters a little bit.
Discuss.
So this is something that Bessy and I don't know how many of you saw, was it last week with Vaughn? Mm-hmm. I don't know how many of you saw last week's scenario with Vaughn, where he played an epic character and I played Dr. Fang's league. Two very different sized leagues. Dr. Fang got 8 models. Vaughn was playing with 1 character. Now, he survived and did so fairly handily all the way to the end. He was injured a couple times, but he made his recovery checks, so he did not remain injured. And very, very smart of him. He made sure he took Indomitable to help him make sure he was passing those recovery checks. But here's the thing about it, and this is something that Bessy and I were talking about. That scenario would have been almost impossible for him to have played or have won alone, or if I had not picked up the plot point, just because of the rules of the scenario. And I think that's what I mean when I talk to folks and explain that epic characters really are not intended to be used as a league. And it says that in the rule book, that they're intended to be used for special scenarios and special situations. Shouldn't really be used as a league because the scenarios are not intended for that. They're not written for that. The way that scenario specifically works is you've got to take down the character that's holding the plot point. Well, since that character doesn't move and he won't shoot, you have to basically engage him and try to put him down. So as soon as you put him down, there's a high probability that another bad guy, before you activate, there's a high probability, because of the way the scenario says that it happens, it says that if the plot point is loose, then the fanatics move into contact with the plot point as quickly as possible. And when they touch it, they immediately pick it up. So every turn, just about, you'd have to put one down, and then another one would just come up and pick it up. And you would never be able to actually complete the plot point if you had a single character. And that's why when I moved in there, I had Fang and Yin Ying, so that and I actually took another character in there as well. So I had one character knock the NPC down, and then I had the other character go up and pick up the plot point. So in that situation, you almost needed to have 2 characters cooperating to make that happen. Could have also done it if we were playing co-op, something like that. But anyway, those are the sort of situations that you could run into if you try to play epic characters on their own too much. You're going to hit scenarios that just really aren't designed for you to have one character out there. But I think it would be fun to do an epic campaign. I think it would be fun. Yeah. So when we do our second half of the Vice Alley campaign, and I'm not going to tell you what the title of it is, but we've already talked about doing another Vice Alley campaign. When we do that, I would like to actually design it so that you could play epic characters in it. You do not have to. I don't want to force you to play epic characters. So just like we did on Sunday with Vaughn, you could bring in a character, you could have a league of like 9 or 8 characters or whatever, and perhaps you could be facing off against that one lone vigilante, or maybe a duo, or, you know, so on and so on. But lots of fun there. Let me know what your thoughts are on that, because it would be fun to kind of explore King City a little bit more and kind of see what else we could kind of explore in that. Now, Vice Alley is just simply part of King City. It's supposed to be like the seedy, dangerous, dirty part, poorest part of King City. So, yeah, a lot of fun. Do I have any more questions from the boys or girls at home?
Not yet.
Okay. So here's a question that's been coming up fairly often, and it comes up now and again. Inspiration for creating your own scenarios and how to create your own scenarios. And my biggest piece of advice is to play the existing scenarios. Even if you just go through the basic scenarios in the rule book first, when you play through those scenarios, even if you don't bring a story to it, a story will unfold as you play those scenarios. It's wonderful. It's really wonderful. You can go into these scenarios that have zero background, and by the end of it, you know, you could piece together a really cool story as you go through it if you have any kind of imagination at all. So my biggest piece of advice is play the scenarios that are written, and they will give you all kinds of inspiration for writing your own scenarios. You almost can't help it. You play through a scenario, and it doesn't matter whether it's one of the basic ones out of the basic book, or, you know, one of the campaign scenarios. When you play through it, it almost automatically creates another scenario. At the end of it, you're like, oh, well, now I have to do this, you know? Okay, well, now we have to find out what happened to Professor Z, you know, and we've got to go rescue him, and yada, yada, yada. So it's just like every scenario, when it's done, almost just naturally leads into another one. So play the scenarios that are out there, and that's going to be a big inspiration for putting your own together and for, you know, creating your own. And then the other thing that people ask me about is how to balance the scenarios. And don't worry about it. Use your best judgment and make the scenario. When you're creating a scenario, you just do the best you can, and you just make it, use good judgment and just put it together, and don't worry about just all the balancing. That's something that you cannot do until you have played that scenario a few times. We don't try to just write a scenario and send it out and say, okay, well, there you go. It is important to write a scenario and test it and make sure it actually works. And that's where you can get into the balancing. Don't try and write the perfect scenario from scratch and go, okay, well, that's going to work. You know, that's not the way to do it. You got to play test it. And then very, very few scenarios survive the very first time we play through it. Almost inevitably, after we play a scenario the first time, we're going to go back and change a few things. So don't feel like you have to get it perfect the first time. Do I have any questions, boys or girls?
No.
I will continue down my list. So somebody asked about an Okie Joe. He had this oddball, Mark Long had this oddball Okie Joe character that was level 3, and it kind of confused him. And he was like, well, how am I supposed to use this level 3 character? And I guess this is a thing that I would really say up front here, is that none of our leagues are written in stone. All of the characters could be different levels. Okie Joe, you could make up a leader level Okie Joe and make him the leader of your Shadow Tong and kick Dr. Fang out of the league completely and just do it that way. You know, you could even mix and match characters. You could take Okie Joe and put him in with Danger Incorporated, and then put Gage in there. And, you can mix the leagues around and put in different characters. And you can totally rewrite the characters and make them different level if you want a character to be level 1. So all of those things are up to you to have fun with. We provide those characters simply as a starting point. And if you want to change them and you want to do them different, I don't know how many of you were around when we used to use Okie Joe as a sidekick fairly often. Yeah, we used to use Okie Joe as Dr. Fang's sidekick fairly often.
Before Yin Yang.
But that was before the dark times, before the coming
of the demon daughter.
Of the demon daughter of Dr. Fang. Never been the same since.
Poor Okie Joe.
Poor Okie Joe. Okay. Did I mention we're going to give away pins tonight?
Ooh. Hey, FYI, it's almost 8:20, so maybe.
Should we do
I
what?
feel like we should do pins now.
Should we do pins now?
Do pins now.
Okay. So we're going to do the pins giveaway. We have 3 pins to give away tonight. If you have won one of these previously, you are not eligible. Please do not enter anything into the text bar during this contest, or you will be beaten severely with a wet noodle. And we have connections to get it done. So I don't know if there's a protective thing on this or not on one layer. I think there is, but I've been afraid to try and scratch it off. So you guys will have to let me know. I think only one of these have been mailed off. So I've been a little bit slow on getting them sent off. But this is the last batch. This is the last group of giveaways that we're doing on these pins. So get next to your type, your clickety clackers, whatever they happen to be, and get ready, because who are you typing to?
You don't need to know what's happening over here.
What's going on over there?
You worry about your
Are you
business.
cheating? Are you
Why
cheating?
would I cheat?
Are you trying to win a pin?
There's a log there. You would see what I type.
What are you typing?
He's feeling a little aggressive tonight, so be careful, kids.
Lava. Can I show him my walls?
We're gonna do pins first, and then
we're gonna do pins first.
Yeah, pins.
Okay, pins. So here's the question. I'm going to ask you a question, and then the 3 winners will be determined by the 3 correct answers that come up in the chat window. So you'll need to enter your answer into the chat, and then the first 3 answers that come up. And I was looking at this like with the timestamp on, and quite honestly, most of the answers come in with the exact same timestamp. Like I was looking at it, it was like 8:17, 8:17, 8:17, 8:17. Like everybody answered at 8:17. But what we're looking for is the order in which they scroll up. If for some reason it is different on your screen, that is something I cannot help. It is based on the judge's screen as the correct answers come scrolling up. So, and it has always been the same as my screen on all of the computers that we have here. So I think your individual computer may pop it up a little bit quicker or whatever, but if you go back and look at the video, I think previously, it'll sync up with what we've actually said were the winners. The question for tonight. Are we ready? Have I blathered enough?
More than enough.
More than enough, she says. So here is the question.
Okay.
Where is Vice Alley located? What is the name of the city where Vice Alley is located? What is the name of the city?
Oh.
What is the name of the city?
We got them.
We got them?
Uh-huh.
Why were you giving me an ah?
Because 2 of them literally popped up at the very last, at like after, boom, same time.
Well, it's still one after the other.
No, I know, but then that was the cutoff. So it's Mark Duval,
Mark Duval,
Matt Burgess, possibly.
Mac-
How you pronounce his
Matt
name?
Burgess,
And
Mark Duval. That's great. Mark's a longtime viewer. Matt Burgess.
uh-huh,
I was talking with Matt just recently. How is it
B
spelled?
E R
Berges.
G E S.
Okay.
And then Mortis 005.
Mortis. Hey, Mortis005. Thanks a lot for chiming in, brother. Or sister, as the case may be. I need all three of yous, Mark Duval, Matt Burgess, and Mortis005, to send me an email or something on Facebook Messenger, if you have me on Facebook Messenger, and make sure I have confirm your shipping address for me. Definitely Mortis005, because I got no clue who you are.
How dare you? You don't know the Mortis?
I don't know. I don't know the Mortis005.
It was embarrassing.
I don't.
I can't take you anywhere.
I'm embarrassed. Congratulations! Woo! Can I show them my walls?
Yes, do it.
Can I show you these cool walls that I put together? I think they look really nice. I don't know how many of you saw the video about the dip that I put together. I'm gonna have to adjust my focus. Bessy appears to be headed that way, and then she paused like she wasn't gonna do it.
Well,
45.
I was gonna try and
Is that it?
stay off camera.
Okay. Look how cool this is. I don't know if I've got the best lighting on it or not, but I think it looks really nice. Let me shift this a little bit more.
Beautiful.
So lots of little layers of color in it. I got the matte sealant on it, varnish on there. It's good enough to play with, and I guarantee you, folks, I spent about 10 minutes of time doing it. Now that was spread out over several days. So I spray painted it on one day, then I wait a day, and then I do the dry brushing. And then I wait 2 days, and then I do the dip, and then I wait 2 days, and then I do the matte varnish. So it's basically takes me a week, but it's in just like little 5-minute increments. All total, it probably took me less than 15 minutes on the whole project. So really, really cool. I love how dirty and grungy the gate turned out. That looks awesome. And it's so easy because I let the materials basically do the work for me. I don't plan or really try very hard on this. It's really about finding a process that just kind of naturally happens and just kind of let it do its thing. Is that cord visible? You're gonna change my focus. Get that out of the way for you guys. So I want to let you guys know that we just today got in a new batch of these walls. We've already sold a couple of them though. So if you're interested in these walls or any of the stuff by Rubicon, I really do recommend this utility light set pole. Really good stuff. Rubicon also does some awesome fences. We got some of the picket fence and some of the log fence, and we have used this quite a bit. And I want to use some of the picket fence too. I've got this market produce set. Really cool set. I do have a bunch of vehicles too. So I got some of these kind of like intra-war tanks, and I'm working on putting one of these together right now. Actually, Jerry's putting one of these together for me, and I'm going to use it as like a Japanese or a Chinese tank. So, you can get away with that sort of thing in pulp. But also a couple really awesome trucks to use. So these are back in stock. And of course, back in stock are the industrial wall and the city wall set. So I don't get very many of these at a time. So if this is something you want, you got to get over to the store. I have not updated the stock yet on all of them. I started, but then this happened. So I do need to get in there and kind of update the stock levels on everything. So it may show as some of the stuff as not being available. But try again maybe tomorrow and check, or send me a note and let me know. Okay, congratulations again to Mark, Matt, and Mortis. Card prices are inevitably going to go up. The price of our printed cards are going up. There's no avoiding it at this point. Our printing costs are shooting up significantly. I think running the basic numbers, our cost to print a starter deck is going to go up by about $5, and there's no way we can absorb that. So that means we've got to at least increase the price of a starter deck by $5, or I don't know what we're going to do. Now, the last time we ran into this situation, and it was, I don't know, 7 years ago. I don't know how long we've been with this company, but the last time we had a card company increase their prices significantly, we went to a different company. So we're already looking around to see if we can find somebody else, but so far we haven't found anybody. So we may end up having to bite the bullet, and that means I'm going to ask you to bite the bullet with me. Cards are already one of the crappiest, and not to bemoan my my problems, because everybody's got problems, but I tell you what, the cards are already one of our lowest margin items. We already don't make a lot on the cards. So the price increase is really crappy. Plus, it came at a really crappy time with the Kickstarter. With the Kickstarter coming and us needing hundreds of card sets, it was just like, oh crap! And now what do we do? So we just placed an order to try and beat the deadline before the price increase went into effect, to try and order a boatload of cards before the price goes up, so that we can at least try to break even on the Kickstarter. But then we're going to end up probably having to raise prices. There's no way around it, unfortunately. Do we have any other questions from the boys and girls?
Yes, Taylor wanted to know, can you give us a template for fortune cards or reward cards?
Yeah, a template. I'm trying to think if there's one out there already. Which cards did he mention?
Fortune or reward cards.
Fortune and rewards. That's basically the same card. I think the only difference between those are the text, aren't they? I think the little... And do you just mean the artwork without any words on it at all? I guess send me a... Oh, no, they're a different color, too. That's blue. Yeah, they're different. Okay, so just do you want the skull things on there? The skull lines? Just everything except the words? I guess let me know. Send me an email or a text. You'll probably need to remind me, because I'll blink after this show is over, and I'll go around and start shutting off all the lights and the microphones and all the gizmos that do this.
Text area.
Say that again.
A large text area, just a large text area.
Okay.
He said he'll send you an email.
All right. Thank you. You have something else? Doesn't she look cute tonight in the hat? What do you want to see in her wear next time?
Okay.
We got a fez.
Can Dave show how the caps
door.
pop off the pillars to make
Oh,
different
yeah.
configurations?
Yeah. I meant to do that. I'm glad you asked. So it's important. Oh, I probably ought to put the camera back down here. We're running short on time here, boys and girls. So, yeah, I meant to do that. I'm glad you asked. Who asked that?
Vern.
Oh, he's always causing problems. That one, I tell you.
He's a good
So check this out, and I want to show you on the city wall set too. So, they lock in, and let me double check. So that one's glued together. I can't change that one. This one, I can pop this gate off because it has enough play there, but you push it up and then it slips out. And then if I wanted to, I could put that onto another wall section that had, stuff showing. So there's enough room there, push it up, and then it slides out. And then I have them marked on the bottom. So this side over here, see, there's not enough space here. When I try to push it up, it hits the top of the pillar. So to actually get this wall apart, I have to take that top off. They are, oh my gosh. Oh, there we go.
Off camera.
Yeah. So off there, they are very tight, and I'm gonna go back and shave the corners of these things a little bit to make it a little bit easier. So you've got to take that cap off so that when you push up on the wall, it goes up far enough that you can get it off. So maybe I could do this one without taking it off camera. Oh, there it went. So that one, you can see I've shaved the corners on this one a little bit. So that one, I can pop it up and get it out of there. So, and then to put them together, it just goes in the slot. Wow, that's a terrible view. See, there's the two walls, it has the holes over here, and it fits into those holes. And then you push it down, and then you just put the cap back on like so. All right, so these, I went ahead and glued one pillar onto each wall section. And then I marked it on the bottom to make sure I knew what was actually glued, so I wasn't trying to yank it apart where it was glued. So there's that one. So now let me show you the city wall set. And this one is crazy modular. This is the city wall set, and this all comes apart. Nothing really holding this together. Except I can't, except I've let it dry now. Oh, that one, I need to work on that one a little bit, it looks like. Let me find one of the older ones that are easier to come apart instead of the new ones that I just did. Oh, live television. So this one's a lot easier to come apart. So all of this is left loose. So I could take that part out. I can take this part out. I could take this part out and take this wall basically completely apart, and then rebuild it in a different configuration. Even the gate part is left so that I could take that off in case I wanted to put a wall there. I hope that's showing up on there. Was I holding it too high? Doggone it. I don't know if you saw that as well as I had hoped. But anyway, you see it all comes apart. Every single part on the city wall set basically comes apart. So it can be rebuilt and put into different shapes. The only thing that you have to watch out for is how many straight pillars you have and how many corner pillars you have. So you can see that this pillar is a straight pillar. It can only make a straight wall. And this one is a corner pillar. It will make a corner. So I have found that you probably want more straight ones than you want corner. You only need a couple corners for every few straight ones you have. I guess that's it. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that covered it, Vern. If you need to see more, let me know. Or if you have any questions, what is it?
We have a question on there.
Oh, okay. Did you change my focus?
I believe so.
Okay.
Question: what is the difference between Lemuria and Perilous Island?
Perilous Island is the prequel to Lemuria. Lemuria, they are both campaigns. They're just different stories. Perilous Island was the first half of the story. Basically, it is the search for Lord Darrow. And so that's the Perilous Island scenario. It happens a little bit of a globe trotting, and then you end up on Perilous Island, and then you kind of play through the Perilous Island stuff. So there's globe trotting, and then most of it happens, I think, on Perilous Island. Lemuria is really the follow-up, and if you know the story between the two and how they are connected, it is that the Lemuria campaign happens because of how Perilous Island ends. And I guess I don't want to spoil that.
I don't want to spoil it.
I don't want to spoil that. But so if you want to play through one, I would encourage you to play through Perilous Island first and then go into Lemuria next, because the ending of Perilous Island is what creates the situation that is supposed to lead to the Lemuria campaign. I don't know that I actually spelled that out completely. There's a lot of times when I leave a little subtext in there and don't spell all of that out necessarily, because I think, Pulp Alley players are a lot smarter than most, so they're able to figure some of that fun stuff out for themselves. And sometimes it is fun.
Okay, I think we're done.
Is that it? Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for watching tonight. We will see you on Sunday with Michael Greenhill. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. End stream. End stream.